Dalzell Viking Glass Company in New Martinsville opened in 1987, but has a rich heritage in the glass-making industry. It is noted for the quality and brilliance of its American crystal and the range of colors offered, particularly the ruby glass. How many people on the average handle a single piece of glass from start to finish?
Okay, including from filling the pot right on down to inspecting it, packing it, and getting ready to ship out the door, there's usually between 12 and 15 people that handles that piece of glass.
Okay, well, let's start the tour and you can take us through step by step.
Okay. Over the weekend, we usually fill the furnace, which is ready for us to work on Monday morning. The gathering boy will take his punny and gather the goblet of glass out of the furnace, carries it over and drops it into the mold. In doing this, he has to know exactly how much weight to gather so that we don't waste glass or we have enough in the mold to spin. The spinner usually takes then and cuts it off. They spin it up to shape. And there's a lot of technique to that too. I mean, this is nothing, you just don't cut it off and spin it up. You gotta watch what you're doing. You gotta know the gob has to be dropped in right. In turn, he takes, after it's spun up to shape, indexes it to the cooling station. It's in the cooling station only for a few seconds. Indexed again, turned out, set on the carrying in stand. The carrying in boy then takes usually 2 at a time or 3 at a time, whichever the size of the piece is, and they carry it into the annealing oven. The annealing oven, it usually takes 2 hours. Some of them run 2 and 3/4 hours to run through to be cool with the other end. At that time, the selectors inspect it for defects. They throw away the defects, and then they go ahead and wrap the piece that we use for shipping, take it to the back end and put in storage till it's ready to be placed in the boxes for orders to be shipped. The cullet that we select out that's bad, if it's a stone, it goes into trash. If it's a blister or a shear mark or a lap, something that we don't want to use as our first quality, we'll use that again in melting in the glass. They use 70% batch and 30% cullet in what we fill into the pot with.
What colors of glass do you produce here, and how do you do that? What are your primary colors?
Okay, our primary colors are crystal and ruby. We get into cranberry mist, amethyst. We have 3 different kinds of green. We have what we call a light evergreen, a dark evergreen. We have a green mist. There's pinks. We have a blue, an azure blue, a stem blue, which is a little bit darker. There's various shades of color we get into, which we determine by the color, the name of it. To get the color, it's all done in the chemistry of it. We try to use what we call base batch and change the color just by the chemicals put into what we call color formula. And each one of those is done by our chemist. In this room, Peggy is gold banding some cobalt bowls that we're making now. She puts hand paints a band on. The band is about 3/8 of an inch wide. And these are the spun bowls that we've been making that you've seen out there this morning.
Debbie, where do you ship the glassware?
We ship it all over the world. We ship it all over the United States, out west, Texas, Florida.
Okay. Now, if someone would like to see glass being made, could they come and do that?
Sure. We give free factory tours Monday through Friday. Here you come to the outlet store and we take you through.
Okay. So we invite you to Dalzell Viking Glass right here in New Martinsville, where you can see the art of glass making.